Welcome to this webinar to the CEN-CENELEC standardizers, in which we will explain how and why to contribute standardization needs to EMPIR. Presenters of today. First of all, myself, Luc van den Bergen. I am a program manager in the innovation department here in the CEN-CENELEC Management Center. I'm also the secretary of the CEN-CENELEC BT working group STAIR on standardization, innovation and research. And after my introductory slides, the presentation will be taken over by Evelien Domini, who will introduce herself when we are going to embark on the slides that she will present. The objective of this webinar is to explain the formalities of the EMPIR process to you standardizers. And the objective is that when we meet on the 19th of October for a face-to-face meeting with metrologists and with standardizers, that we can entirely focus on the technical discussions and don't have to repeat the process followed in the context of EMPIR. Two slides, one on the context for CEN-CENELEC, another one on the context for EURAMET. So the CEN-CENELEC context is that one of our ambitions to 2020 is that we want us standardizers to more closely collaborate with researchers, in this particular case, so with metrology researchers. The objective to work more closely with researchers has been from the very start within the remit of the CEN-CENELEC BT working group STAIR, so standardization, innovation and research, which group defined a participation policy for standardization national bodies in research projects. And as a result, more than 70 projects have one of our CEN or CENELEC members as a partner. Another important step that was done by CEN-CENELEC BT working group STAIR was the enabling of the concept of a project liaison. This enables research and development projects funded by the European Union to participate as a liaison partner directly in our technical committee work. And so we have 15 of those projects liaising with a TC in 2015. So the context for CEN-CENELEC has been first Framework Program 7, and today we very much work on Horizon 2020, which is the current research and development program funded by the European Union. Horizon 2020 has a specific aspect that it is going from very basic research up to near market innovations. So to quote from their text, it's taking great ideas from the lab to the market. This presentation is done together with EURAMET. Evelien will explain more on EURAMET later. And this is in the context of a memorandum of understanding that CEN-CENELEC signed with EURAMET in 2010, and we renewed this MOU that outlines our collaboration in 2015. For EURAMET, the context of the collaboration is in the context of research programs on metrology research that they are co-financing together with the European Commission. It was first the EMRP, the European Metrology Research Program, from 2009 to 2013, with in total 119 funded projects. But today it's the European Metrology Program for Innovation and Research, or in short EMPIR, covering the period 2014 to 2020, with a budget of 600 million, so bigger than EMRP. And because this project is an integrated part of Horizon 2020, it also pays quite some attention to the uptake of metrology research into by the industry and by results nearer to the market. And so there are two explicit links within EMPIR that relate to standardization. The first one is support for impact projects. This is a kind of projects that come after the main research projects financed by EURAMET, and they are to generate impact outside the metrology community, for instance, through standardization. And then the main body of today's talk are the pre- and co-normative targeted programs, which provide timely metrology research to our standardization activities. All of this is organized under a label called STAIR EMPIR. Formally, this is a subgroup of the earlier mentioned BT working group STAIR. It has a chair coming from the EURAMET community, from LNE, Ms. Magalon Chambon, and it has a secretary coming from our standardization community, Ortwin Kostenobel of NEN. In addition, there is support given by CCMC and by some other EURAMET representatives, such as Evelyn here next to my side. The visible manifestations of this STAIR EMPIR work are twofold. First of all, we are inviting every year, and this year we did do so in August, we are inviting TCs in CEN-CENELEC to contribute metrology research needs resulting from their standardization activities or resulting from their planned standardization activities. And then, after we collect this need, we are fostering the direct interchange between standardizers and metrology researchers at physical meetings on a yearly basis, the next one 19 October 2016, in order to have the best possible understanding from the metrology research community on our standardization needs for metrology research. So with this, I have finished the introduction, and now happy to hand over to Evelyn Domini of LNE, who will also introduce herself.
Thank you very much, Luc. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Evelyn Domini. I come from LNE, which is the French National Metrology and Testing Laboratory. I am the standardization manager in LNE, and also I work for EURAMET for the standardization support, and I have the facilitator role for the normative call. And my work for EURAMET is mainly to support metrology experts to find some link with standardization technical committee and standardization work. So my presentation will go through some general objectives of EMPIR. It will explain the process of EMPIR and how can the standardization group contribute to this research metrology program. So first, three slides on the overall objective of EMPIR. So the objective of this program is to increase metrology research for priority standardization documents, to support policy implementation, target the needs of industry, accelerate dissemination of research outputs and innovative product to market. So one of priority objective of EMPIR is to boost industrial uptake and to improve standardization. EMPIR supports collaborative research projects that are called joint research projects in measurement science, and these projects are to address the annual EMPIR call that are launched between 2014 and 2020. So this project, this GRP, should focus on priority area on targeted programs that are addressing health, energy, environment, industry, normative work, and also there are some specific support for impact projects to boost some previous research outputs. EMPIR is managed by the European Association of National Meteorology Institute, which is called EURAMET. So regarding the GRP and the project, EMPIR wants to have high quality of project among the meteorology community in Europe, addressing explicit stakeholder needs, accelerating innovation and competitiveness, reducing duplication and increase the impact, of course taking into consideration of the National Meteorology Program. And one focus is to involve more research, standardization, industry, and organization other than the National Meteorology Institute. One also of important objective is to contribute more to standard and to support directives. If we look at more precisely on the normative project, the objective of the normative project is to develop traceable measurement method and meteorological technique required for standardization. So this is an important point. I will come back later, but these projects are focused on measurement method and measurement science. This normative project has the objective to address the needs of European and international standardization organizations for meteorology research in any area. So all the standardization groups such as CEN and CENELEC Technical Committee having research needs or measurement can actively engage in the EMPIR process by using the support of the STAIR EMPIR group. The objective of the normative project is to develop research activities to contribute not only to the current standardization work program of the technical committee, but also to new topics that are necessary to feed any future standardization work. The maximum duration of such project is 3 years, and it obligatorily includes at least 3 national meteorology institutes, and these projects are led by someone from the meteorology part, which is called the coordinator. This slide presents the targeted programs of EMPIR. So you will have all the priority area from 2014 to 2012. So you can see that this year there are 2 main priority targeted programs on environment and energy. The call is still ongoing. And in addition of all these targeted programs, there is an annual calls for pre-normative projects from 2015 to 2020. So each year there is a call for pre-normative project which is planned by on the schedule. So there are a lot of opportunity for standardization group to collaborate in this targeted program, not only the pre-normative project, but also all the other ones such as industry, health, energy, and environment. EMPIR represents a significant opportunity for standardization members and for industry to work together on these research projects in order to deliver true value and impact to the standardization community. Now 2 slides on to explain what is the EMPIR process. So the EMPIR process for most of targeted programs is a 2-stage process. The first stage is the stakeholder consultation, and it leads to produce some potential research topic, also called PRT. So this first stage, if we focus on the first stage, This first stage is not a call for pre-proposal followed by a call for full proposal. It's a call for submission of need for metrology research. So in this stage, CEN and CENELEC Technical Committee can submit their metrology research that assists their standardization work. The submission of the PRT should come from those that will benefit from a particular research activity rather than those proposing to carry out the research activity. That's why for stage 1, submissions are welcome from any person or organization worldwide. Then EURAMET will receive all the PRT submitted by all the stakeholders and the metrology, and the EMPIR committee will decide what are the best proposal research topics and issue a list of the selected research topics. The next stage is the call for proposals. So the calls for proposal are launched for consortia to make their research proposal addressing the SRT. At this stage, the consortia will form and they will develop and submit a project proposal for research against the specification of the SRT. All the GRP that are submitted at this stage will be evaluated during a review conference by independent experts, and this independent expert will rank all the projects and produce a list of a ranking of the proposal. Then at the end of this process, the EMPIR committee will decide which, according on this list, which projects are funded and which projects are not funded. So in summary, EMPIR is a two-stage process starting in January and ending at the end of the year. So at stage 1, you submit ideas for metrology in response to the call, and at stage 2, you submit project proposal in response to the call. Now, 2 slides to focus on the normative project and some information on what can be a topic in normative project. So, as I told before, these projects are only metrology research projects. It means that they have to include topics dealing with traceable measurement or measurement science. So you have here a list of what kind of topic can be included in such project. There can be the development and validation of traceable measurement method for measuring parameters, the determination of all relevant parameters to design an accurate, robust, and stable measuring instrument to elaborate a standardization document. It can be the development of a new reference materials in close collaboration with instruments manufacturers, the development of a new calibration method, the development of metrological improvement for standardized test method, and also the development of calculation uncertainties. If you will click on the link at the end of the slide, you will have access to the normative selected research topic that are in the current targeted program in this year. Here you have the list of the normative selected research topic that have been selected by the EMPIR committee. And if you click on this one, for instance, you can see in the second page the technical and scientific objective of this SRT. And if you have a look at all these SRT, you can have more information of what can be included in such project. So now there are some national metrology institutes that are already involved in standardization and that already increase their link with standardization and develop such projects. This is a feedback of their experience on working with standardization. Their experience is that it really helps to write down the CEN-CENELEC or the standardization needs in such a way that it both reflects the need of the standardization technical committee as well as gives a good description for metrologists. It means that it's important to write the potential research topic, to have some discussion between the standardization and the metrology community to write correctly this topic. Also, many TESI don't necessarily understand what metrology is, so that's why it's important to explain that the most important for this kind of topic is the impact of measurement in an industrial application, or how to make measurement or interpret measurement results. In conclusion, they said that initiate a discussion at the earliest stage between standardization and metrologists is of great interest to undertake any further collaboration. Now, some other information that are important to know before being involved in such project. What cannot be a topic for this kind of normative project? Topics that do not deal with traceable measurement, of course, will not be selected at the first PRT stage. Topics also that address specific needs of a single industrial are not considered as a GRP because all these projects are only collaborative research projects. Also, what you should know before engaging in such program is that this program is not intended for technical committee that wish their standard to be finalized or their question to be answered within 3-year times. Because the process, as I told before, for applying is quite long. There are 80 months between the knowledge of the initial PRT and the start of the GRP work that may not be suitable for some industrial needs. Also, if you want to execute a simple interlaboratory survey, this is not enough consistent to be an only one normative project. If you have no measurement needs or consider metrology on, if you have no measurement needs or if you are looking also for financial support to execute non-metrology related standardization work, this type of topic cannot be also selected in this project. Now an indicative timeline for the call of next year. So this timeline applies to all the projects, but the first one, the preparatory stage, is focused on the normative project. So this stage is intended to CEN-CENELEC technical committee, and these technical committees are invited to identify and inform on their metrology research needs. So as Luc told before, you can participate in this process by answering to the ongoing consultation from STAIR EMPIR and by participating to the STAIR EMPIR meeting that will be organized in October. I will come later. Then there will be the first stage, the PRT stage, which will run from January to March. And here, the CEN and CENELEC needs that will be transmitted through the consultation will be communicated to the proposer via the EURAMET website. It means that all the CEN and CENELEC needs received by STAIR EMPIR group will be published on EURAMET website to inform the metrology community of the needs from the standardization group. There will be a selection of this PRT by EURAMET and the publication of the selected research topic from April to June. Then, the call for the GRP proposal will be open from June to October. The partner meeting will take place to form the consortium in June, and the consortium will prepare the project proposal during summer until October. There will be the review conference to evaluate the proposal in November and the decision of the selected project in December. The start of the work plan in the GRP will be in 2018, in the first half of 2018. Some information on the budget of the normative project. So, the first normative call took place in 2015. This year it's a second one. The maximum budget for this project was 0.8 million euro. And for some biggest projects selected by EURAMET, the budget was 1.2 million euro. 30% of this budget is dedicated to the external partner. And EURAMET highly encourages the external partner, such as industry, regulators, standardization body, research institute, to take part in the consortium and to participate in this project. Organizations that are already involved in standardization activity may be funded for their investigative work via this program. How does it work? During the partnering meeting, the coordinator of the project will be in charge of distributing the budget within the partner when the consortium will be formed and when writing the proposal or during summer. How can the standardization group contribute to the normative project? So, at the PRT stage, you can of course submit your needs. The PRT template will be prepared with the National Metrology Institute. It's a 5-page maximum which identifies only the stakeholder needs. At this stage, it does not imply any commitment of all partner and participant and submitter, even if the PRT is selected at the second stage. Then there will be the preparation of the proposal, the consortium will form, and the consortium will write and costing the proposal. Here again, partner and stakeholder decide how much they want to be involved and contribute to the work plan. So, for standardization group, there are 2 levels of contribution. You can have a valid contribution and deliver tasks that can be funded. Normally or generally, the standardization representative can be leader of the impact work package of the project. In this case, the funded partner sign an agreement with EURAMET. Also, there is another possibility. If you do not want to deliver some specific task, you can only offer guidance and support the project without any task to deliver, and in this case, you don't sign the agreement. Generally, the Metrology Institute will also ask for a letter of support from the standardization group to have a better GRP proposal. So, in summary, for the preparation of the 2017 call, what can you do? There are an ongoing consultation from sent to all CEN and CENELEC technical committee. This consultation was sent on August, and the objective is to collect input for the PRT stage. So, if you have some needs on metrology, on measurement science, you can submit your needs to STAIR EMPIR by 12 December using the template that will be presented just in the next slide. And this needs will be transmitted to EURAMET. As soon as we receive this need, we will try to put you in contact with an EURAMET expert to initiate as soon as possible a first discussion, and if you want, we can arrange a face-to-face meeting for the meeting of 19 October. So the meeting of 19 October, which is facilitated by STAIR EMPIR, is a place to discuss for a standardization group and metrology expert to prepare the PRT stage of the next year. So for the standardization group, it's an opportunity to clarify the needs in discussion with EURAMET metrology experts. Any information or registration are to be done at the link enclosed in the slide. The deadline for registration is 12 October. This is my last slide to present you the response form. This is the form that you should receive with the consultation. It is intended to identify who you are, what are your CEN and CENELEC technical committee, to have your contact, and in the paper enclosed you can briefly describe your needs. This need will be circulated first to EURAMET expert, and it will be published in January in the EURAMET website to inform all metrology institutes of your needs. That's all for me, so thank you very much. I give the floor for the end of the webinar to Luc.
Thank you, Evelyn. So a small recap of what was said during this webinar. So first you have there the NRM, or pre-normative, co-normative metrology research projects. That's the prime, I would say, audience of our standardization identified needs. But it is not excluded that our needs identified from standardization for metrology research also are funded by other targeted programs, such as, for instance, this year, energy or environment. This is, I would say, a matter that is then decided by the National Metrology Institutes when they submit their concrete proposals. I hope it was sufficiently clear from this webinar that in fact there is a kind of two-stage also approach to the submission of needs. We are already this year now, the second half of 2016, preparing needs that we will be contributing to EURAMET in order to initiate this, I would say, discussion starting among others on the 19th of October, this discussion between standardizers and metrology researchers, so as to have the best possible PRT, possible research topic. And these kind of possible research topics are then decided by the EURAMET EMPIR committee, which one can then be followed on as a selected research topic. STAIR EMPIR itself is not prioritizing anything. STAIR EMPIR is mainly the way that we seek to optimize from the perspective of us standardizers the input of our needs into EURAMET. And I can say that these needs identified by our TCs, that at PRT stage they will receive some preferential treatment by the National Metrology Institute, because they know that there is support provided, or that there is a need provided by the people actually doing the work in our technical committees. Another aspect that I should mention is that while we are focusing our work towards the European standardization community, EURAMET will also be happy to receive needs for metrology research that would be following from an international standardization committee in ISO and or IEC. For EURAMET, itself, under the EMPIR project, they do not make this strict differentiation between European generated or international standardization generated needs. But of course, we have this agreement between CEN-CENELEC and EURAMET, so we are reaching out in most cases primarily to our European committees. Contacts in CEN-CENELEC are the Secretary of STAIR EMPIR, Ortwin Costenoble, myself, CCMC Program Manager and Secretary of STAIR, and Evelyn already indicated this other mailbox to which you can send requests for information or register for the meeting in October, research@CEN-CENELEC.eu. The final slide here, you will find some useful URLs if you want to know more about EURAMET or more about EMPIR. So with this, I want to thank you for your attention.